I can talk. I've actually got a book.
Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Williston City Council. It's Tuesday, October 5th, 6 p.m. Ms. Wright, if you'll please call the roll for us.
Mayor Robinson.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here.
Vice President Robinson.
Here.
Councilmember Cox.
Here.
Councilmember Hines.
Here.
Councilmember Ross.
Here.
City Manager Jackie Gorman.
Here.
Filling in for City Attorney is Attorney Kirsten Bullock. City Clerk Latricia Wright, and all other staff.
Here.
Oh, so funny. Okay, we will at this time stand for the opening prayer and the pledge of allegiance by the mayor.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for the time to be here tonight. Lord, we thank you for the blessings that you have given us. We pray that you would lead, guide, and direct this council in this meeting tonight. Lord, we pray that you would be with our police and fire and protect them in their duties as they protect us. Be with our military men and women, wherever they may be, protect and provide for them. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, we will do item 1, which is the additions, deletions, changes, and approval of the agenda. Anyone have any changes, deletions, or would like to make a motion for approval of the agenda?
I move that we approve the agenda.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have discussion from anyone? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. At this time, we have item number 2, which is first opportunity for the public to speak to this group about an item that may not be on the agenda. So if you are the public and would like to bring something up that is not on the agenda, this is your first opportunity. Okay, we will move into item number 3, which is the consent agenda, which consists of the council meeting minutes of September 21st, resolution 2021-49, a resolution of the City Council of Williston, Florida, to approve the purchase order for a new ground power unit for the Williston Municipal Airport, and an agreement with Purvis, Gray and Company, LLC, who is our auditor. Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second? Thank you, ma'am. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion from anyone? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 4A is staff, board, and council member updates. Ms. Gorman, you are up first.
Yes, good evening, Council. I have the pleasure of introducing to you tonight our new HR manager, Deanna Nelson. She's in the back. If you want to wave to everybody. Yay! She's been busy, so we're really thrilled to have her.
Can we get her information, please, sent to us, contact information?
You mean like her email and,
yes,
and telephone? Absolutely.
Yes, please.
I think it's just, yes, we absolutely will.
Yes.
Take care of that.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, the second thing is...
She has an impressive resume. Reporters
Yes.
in the audience.
And she does.
Yes, and I tell you, the staff, while I was out, the staff came together and did a wonderful job going through all of the resumes and making the selection. And I want to thank Deborah. Deborah helped a little bit with her HR background to make sure that she scanned it, and then all that stuff came to me, and I made the decision. But I think I did the right thing. So far, she's been hitting the ground running, and we're really excited. So I want to thank staff for all their time and effort they put in this. They were great. So, moving on, I also want to thank the staff. The Peanut Festival, I was not able to attend myself, but I saw all the pictures, and I was in touch with everybody, and staff just knocked it out of the park. Our intention naturally was to introduce Callie, which I understand Erin was right there, answering everybody's questions, and had our little buggy out there that y'all got to see. Laura was out there assisting, gathering information and working with the rest of the staff. We had gas utility, as you know, we're trying to market that separately, trying to get our utilities out there and operating them as our business, and a little marketing with that, so that was fun. So I think they had fun, and they all showed up and did their thing, and I want to thank them all for their time and effort, because I think it was enjoyed by all, so that's all I did.
They did a great job, the chamber did a wonderful job.
Absolutely. Yeah,
As
they were
usual.
great. Yep. Thank you.
Anything else from staff? Yes, sir.
Chief Stroke said I didn't have anything on the agenda tonight, so I needed to say something, I guess. But we do have a lot of events going on at the airport this month, and I just wanted to announce it at this meeting just to make sure that it was all out there. This Saturday, around 9 o'clock, we're hosting a Young Eagles rally. The Experimental Aircraft Association chapter out of Ocala is putting on this event. Basically what it is kids 8 to 17 can come in, get a quick 20-minute briefing, and then the pilots from this chapter will take them up for a 20-minute flight or so, all free to the kids. So it's a really good opportunity. We have one this month, and we're hosting one next month as well. The 23rd at 2 p.m., the Levy County Historical Society is doing a lecture on the history of the airport, and how it was used in World War II. It was a really good lecture last time we did it, and we're hoping to get a much better turnout for this go-around. And then October 30th, we've got the pig roast, which is our local EAA chapter's fundraising event. It's a pulled pork lunch. I think it's $15 a plate. Normally we have somewhere around 130, 140 airplanes show up. So it's a good event to show up to if you want to look at some pretty cool airplanes.
What time is that on the 30th?
They say it starts at noon. Airplanes normally start showing up somewhere around 9 or 10 o'clock.
And that's when?
The 30th of October. That's all I have.
Benson, what time is the, one on October 23rd, the Levy County Historical Society?
2 p.m.
2, thank you.
23rd or 28th?
23rd.
And they're excited about it too.
Oh, yeah.
They were at the Peanut Festival, they were talking to everybody about it, so I hope we'll have a good crowd.
Absolutely. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And if I may, did you guys want to announce the job fair now, or do you want to do it later? Yeah, Jonathan?
So with the job fair being this Friday, way it's looking, gonna have a pretty good turnout for that.
Good enough for?
So with the paper being in the audience, I'd like for that to be put out again for everybody to know about. So the interviews will start at 8:30 to 2:30. First come, first served. Sign your name, turn your resume in, and sit down for an interview.
Cool. You've got Dina all lined up with that, right? Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
I saw your sign in the lobby. That's a good move there. Thank you, sir. Anything else from staff? Mr. Ross, do you have anything at this time?
No, ma'am.
This time? Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I have a few things here. At the Peanut Festival, there was a couple from St. Pete that came up and talked to me. Their daughter lives in Dunellen, and they said that they come up every year for this, and they were very, very complimentary about the way things was handled and about the Peanut Festival and how it was put on. And they said they wish they had more things like this that they could go to and everything. They were very, very complimentary about that. And also, there was a lady from Atlanta who motioned me to come over and talk to her, and I thought, uh-oh.
I talked to her as well.
And, she said she'd been around here a few days, and she had walked around the city, admired what the city looked like and how clean the city was, and very complimentary about the staff for keeping that up like that. I mean, she just went on and on and on, and very complimentary about that, so I wanted to pass it on to you guys up there. Another thing, pesos up on the hill. Where do we stand as far as the, fines? Do we have a total? Or do we have an approximate total?
Yes, sir, he is accruing fines at $100 a day, and I don't have the total for you, I'm sorry.
Is it between 5 and 10 grand now, would you guess?
Yes.
I think it was 5 at our last meeting.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, question to the council, how long are we going to go before we start foreclosing?
I think it's up to the Board of Adjustments.
Well, the Board of Adjustments will have to approve that, step, and then we'll come to you, we'll speak to the lawyers, give you some assessments on the property value, and whether or not you wanna do that, and then that's your final decision.
Okay, when is that going to be scheduled to do?
We have a Board of Adjustments meeting on October 28th.
28.
Okay, will that be put on the, agenda?
Yes, PISO's on the agenda.
Okay, what about the hospital? Have you had any contact from the owners of the hospital?
No, sir, the letter that we sent to them, they did not respond, so I did a little bit of research, and I dug up a new address for them that's in a different area, so we sent the letter to them today, but it is still in litigation as far as we know, and nobody's responding about the grass.
What litigation?
It's complicated, but
I contacted the tax office to find out what happened, because we knew that it went on to courthouse steps on the 15th or the 18th. And it got withdrawn. I don't have the paperwork in front of me either, it's extensive, I printed it out, but the feds got a hold of it and said, nope, we're not done with our part of this, so we don't want any assets to go. Basically it. So they stopped it, so I gave the information to Laura, said, make sure that we capture who we can on this, because it needs to be taken care of over there to promote.
Well, if it's in litigation, shouldn't they have the correct address? And
Yeah,
all
and
that?
that's where you got it from, right, Laura?
we
you
did
find
some
another-
research, we have a couple new addresses for them, so we're gonna try and reach somebody who wants to be in charge of the.
Well, if you have any of the litigation documentation, shouldn't that show the address for these people too?
The addresses on the property appraiser are the ones that we use when we send out our first
Okay.
letter.
Okay, well, since that, you had not been contacted, and you don't think that those are the right addresses, couldn't you get that information off the litigation file or whatnot? I mean, it is public record, if you could get the address, off some of those documents.
Yes, sir, we did. We have multiple addresses now. So we have an address that we think is good, and then we have the addresses for their lawyers. We could send them letters too,
Okay.
if that's what you like.
All right, I noticed up on Northwest Main Street, Northwest Fifth, Ave, up there, that property has grown up. That's the Armstrong property up there across from the Triangle Shell. I mean, it's like 5 and 6 feet high. Has anything been done with that property? Have they been placed on notice?
Yes, sir, we have multiple Armstrong properties that are on notice.
Okay, how long have they been on notice?
Oh, probably about 2 weeks.
Have you had any contact from them yet?
Yes, we talked to them.
Okay, are they gonna come and clean it up?
They have made some progress on some of the properties, but they have multiple properties in town that are under code enforcement.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. I'll just go to all that same vein. There is a house on Southeast 4th Street. You go to the red light and turn right. I think it's the second house down behind the gas station. I am tired of looking at pallets piled everywhere. And
Okay.
I've mentioned it once before, so
Yes,
now
ma'am.
I'm doing it in a meeting.
Yes, ma'am, that gentleman is stuck in another country.
Don't care. Somebody's living there.
The property owner is stuck out of the country, so we have been in contact with them as much as we can, but he is stuck in Brazil, is it, or?
Right. South America.
South America.
So who's living there?
That's not really we have to talk to the property owner.
I mean, they keep piling the pallets up.
Yeah.
I mean, they're continuing to grow, so whether the man's in this country or not, somebody's continuing to put them there. I also made comment about the grass in front of, Old School Plaza, again, to the east side. Has there been any movement on that? No. Mr. Carson? Nope.
I talk to them often. I think it was the last meeting or the meeting before I told you we were working on their property to get it cleaned up. So, they're working on it, but right now their concentration is working on those retention ponds and the parking lot. So I can tell them to cut the grass if that's what you'd like.
I mean, they probably don't need a weed eater, cause it's such a mess. You can't drive in it, I don't believe.
Bush hog.
Yeah. If that worked, I don't even know if a bush hog would do it, but it's really bad. Between the sidewalk and their property is where I'm talking. And there is a retention pond in there too, so it may be part of the problem.
Has that retention pond in front of Popeye's been fixed? The last time I walked by it yesterday morning, it had gone down, but only half of it has gone down. Has that been, fixed, that problem?
No, the problem has not been fixed.
Shopping cart's gone. Right, that's a little bit.
Shopping cart's gone?
It has dried up
It's
part
been
of it.
it's been cleaned up a little bit, but there's
It's not running
some,
off like it should.
No,
there's some engineering issues that they need to fix, and it's under warranty, so it will be done.
thank you.
Okay, Ms. Robinson, you have anything else?
Oh, no, that's it.
Mr. Cobb?
The other day, from the house going the back way behind the school, up to the subway on top of the hill, they're on the corner of Southwest 3rd Street and Southwest 5th Street. The intersection, there's, behind the school, the road that runs going to the football stadium.
Like the bus loop area, yes, between there and the medical plaza.
If you're facing,
West?
there's 3 lots that are for sale.
Oh, you're talking
Oh,
about.
you're
the
behind
one-
the football
Behind
field. Okay,
the field.
McCoy.
The parents
Mhm.
park, yeah, the parents park at the stop sign, and they line the roads to where if anybody is coming in that wants to use that road, they have to go up and around and through, zigzag through the intersection, or driving through the property of the stadium, homes or whatever, whichever you would like to call it. Can something be done about that? They shouldn't be allowed to block an intersection. All 3
Oh, I know.
had cars piled up.
I've been stuck there before.
One of the problems they run into used to be like, 50 car riders, and now they're about 200.
Can
And
they
so,
park alongside of the road?
we've tried to move them over. I made some suggestions to the school board, and it's kind of fallen on deaf ears. I'll get with the SRO and see if he can do something about moving them. But that's the problem, is that because of COVID, everybody is riding their kids back and forth. Matter of fact, it was talked about today at the legislative delegation. One of the schools, they have to try to see if they can get some DOT money to help route traffic because of the number of cars that are now blocking the road. That was a poorly designed school, and I've actually talked to the former superintendent about modifying, moving the fence in on 3rd Street, and making a drive through there. And, we have a new superintendent. So it's ever since I've been here, it's been
Yes, the
a problem every year.
Yeah, that would be the playground.
Playground.
Yeah, but you move it in just enough to make a path through there. Driveway, extend the driveway.
You mean down the side, hopefully you don't mean through the middle.
No, through the side, where it parallels the sidewalk, to push the fence back in 10 feet, just enough to make a path. a driveway through there.
Is there a sidewalk? I didn't even know there was a
There's
sidewalk.
a sidewalk, but it can be on the other side of the sidewalk.
Yeah, where I'm talking about, there's not a sidewalk.
There's not a sidewalk.
I'm on the side street, not the
But
back
on the
street.
side, I'm talking about the third, if we could stack more traffic in there, it would help. And they'll also come in from the north going south and block up Third and First.
Yep, try to break in line.
In my 10 years, that's been a constant problem, the only thing is just got a little worse.
School board. I'm blocking up city streets, but it's a school board.
They did change the, when Blue Rock went in, part of the thing was, is they made a deal because the buses used to load on First.
Right.
So now they come in off of Fifth, and they paved a loop around the football field, and that's where the buses load and unload to get them off First. But if we could change it, where we could extend the driveway alongside Third, it would make a big difference. You'd have a stacking area. But I'll talk to them, and see what we can do.
All right, any other announcements at this time? All right, we'll move on then to item 5, which is new business. And we'll consider resolution 2021-59, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Williston, Florida, approving a proposed plat for lots 1 and 2, parcel number 04787003000, and Ms. Jones and Mr. McMillan, I believe, are here for this.
Thank you. This is called the Pinky Plat, lots 1 and 2, parcel 7800300. The property is located on Northwest 7th Street, adjacent to Northeast 49th Street. It's the very last property in town if you go north. Crystal Pinkston is the owner, and Steve McMillan is the surveyor. He's the agent, and he is in the audience tonight for any questions. The plat is in front of you on the table, in big size in case you couldn't see enough detail in your agenda. Currently, this parcel contains one lot on 0.68 acres, and the zoning is residential single family. This plat proposes 2 lots. The north lot at 0.378 acres and the south lot at 0.442 acres. The minimum lot size in our, with city sewer and water is 8,712 square feet, and lot 1 and 2 are both over that. The minimum lot width is 66 feet, and they both comply. Water, gas, sewer, and power are all available, and approval of this development complies with the Land Development Code. Therefore, we recommend approval, and Planning and Zoning approved it last week at their meeting. So our recommended action is to approve the Pinky Plat of lots 1 and 2, parcel 0478077700300. I didn't bring my reading glasses, and I'm gonna have to start doing that.
It's okay, I already said it.
I turned 40-something, and now I can't read.
40-something, huh?
It's a shame, it's really been, I've been really suffering the past couple of weeks with reading.
Go buy you some readers, that's what we
I will.
did. Okay, so we have the Pinky Plat. Everybody know where it is?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. I had to go look at it myself. Okay, so anybody have any discussion, or any questions for Mr. McMillan? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I so move.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. I have a second from Ms. Hines. Any further discussion from anyone? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McMillan. Item 5B, discussion with possible action, Christmas tree sale on Block 0. I brought this up. I think that Mr. Foster is probably online with us.
No, he's not.
Mr. Foster is not there? Okay, we're probably ahead of him. All right, so what this is, and this is because I can't tell them one way or another, so it's here for your consideration. I have no skin in the game. This is a gentleman who would like to do, a Christmas tree sale, and it's Block 0, which is the block across the street that backs up to Levy Insurance before you get to Ace Hardware on the left. He would like to use that lot simply because it's a good place to be. In the middle of town, has plenty of parking. My first discussions with him were that I asked him if he was connected to any nonprofit, and he told me that he was. I asked him who he would give part of the proceeds to, and he told me the Williston Area Chamber of Commerce. So I agreed to put it on the agenda, so here it is. For anybody's comment. Okay? Oh, we can ask him. I'm not really sure. I was hoping he was gonna be online.
He would.
He would have to.
Yeah, he would need to.
Ms. Jones,
Yes, sir.
did he advise you about how much of a percentage you want to give our chamber?
That has to be worked out. First of all, I wanted to know if they were even interested.
Oh, I understand, okay.
Because they may not be. They may not be interested at all. And then I'm gonna put if you are interested, I'll put the chamber and this gentleman together.
What's the time frame that he'd be wanting his Christmas tree sale, from November through December?
Probably
October?
mid-November through December. That's not worked out either. You tell me what you like. If you like it, if you don't like it, if you wanna give him a time frame. There was discussion about the fact that there were no Christmas tree sales, that what we did have was at Winn-Dixie, and they were gone within 2 weeks.
And I don't think Winn-Dixie even had them last year.
And they may not have had them at all.
They didn't have them last year.
And I know the Bronson FFA does them, and they're gone within a week, or 10 days, they're gone. So there is no availability. I don't believe Hitchcock had them last year either.
Mm-mm.
So this was a gentleman who was going to bring trees from North Carolina, and most of his cost, of course, would be the transportation of the trees to Florida. I have no idea where he was acquiring the trees. We can get into all that if you're at all interested
What
in
about
the
insurance?
I'd like to know, yeah.
But if that would be a requirement, I would definitely tell him
I would
that.
think that he needs to go with the chamber and get all this other information here and then bring it before the
Bring it back.
council,
Is that what
before
you-
the council.
Are you
makes a
interested at
decision.
all in letting him use the property?
I think it'd be a good place
I don't
for
see
that.
why not.
Okay, all
We
right,
could
so,
give it a try, why
so
not?
let them work out the details and bring it back to us.
Exactly,
Because you're amenable to at least talking about it at that point.
Yeah.
Mr. Bishop,
Do you know they'll be requiring temp power or temp water?
I would think they would need water of some sort.
I would think, temporary,
They may need lights as well. There's pretty good bit of light in that area, but he may wanna run some strings of lights.
Yes, ma'am.
and I bring his own generator.
We can ask that, yeah, I can always put a generator. Is there light available, and water available over there?
Yes, ma'am. My only concern would be the traffic off of the main highway,
Off of what now?
off of the main highway.
Up in Oval?
Yes, ma'am.
You mean turning in that to there?
I'm not saying it's a bad idea or I'm against it, but that'd be one of my big concerns is how much traffic
Okay,
can the intersection handle it?
I think the intersection.
I think because it's before you get to the light, that it probably would be fine,
Just something to consider.
yeah. If it was actually through the light and you had to turn, maybe, but since it's before you get to the light, I think it would be.
I don't think you're supposed to turn though after you come through the light.
Oh, yeah, you
go
couldn't
past.
come this way and hang left, you couldn't do that.
No.
No, you
No.
couldn't do that, but I'm just thinking coming this
Oh,
way. you
that,
could come
yeah, that
right.
way's fine, but
Without
the
a problem.
other way is.
The other way, they'd have to turn
You have
at
to
the
go
light.
around, right.
If he could submit just a little hand-drawn area, where he expects everybody to park, where he's gonna set up his tents, where he needs his power, where he needs his water.
Maybe
That
they
will
would.
help staff accommodate, and I think we
Yeah.
might need to give him a temporary permit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we would definitely have to do that.
So anything that falls into that section of the code, we could at least review too and make sure that we can help him out.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, time frame, I'm just writing down everything else said.
And I would think that he would need to bring it all back at the next council
Yeah.
meeting, because a lot of times, the first week of November, they start the trees,
Mm-hmm.
getting them out and things like that. Some people put them up Thanksgiving weekend,
the day after Thanksgiving.
I mean, he needs to acquire trees, pretty quick, is the reason I went ahead and put it on, just to see if you were interested at all. Because if you weren't, there was no sense going forward with anything else.
I would find out as much as you can.
Okay. I'll bring it back to you on our next meeting if he is willing to do all that. If he's not, then we'll forget it altogether.
Sure, and the chamber will appreciate it.
Yes, and the chamber, of course, knows about it. They've been in the discussions. He's a chamber member.
Cool.
Okay, so I appreciate that discussion. I'll bring that back to you. Item C is discussion with possible action of 4th of July fireworks vendor. You have before you a contract from Premier Events. Is he online yet? Nope. Okay, we asked him to be online if he could have the availability of doing that, but I think it's early. Okay, so he should be online any minute. As you look at this contract, Premier Events is Mr. Bill Foster. He's a longtime member of the Chamber of Commerce. Nothing fly by night. He's been a member for years. He lives in the Morrison area. If you attended the Bacon Festival, he produced that. He also did the fireworks in Archer this past year. I knew that he was an event coordinator. I had no idea that I knew that he booked bands and that he did that sort of thing. I had no idea that he could also do an entire festival or that he could do fireworks. If so, we probably would have gone that way last year and let him see what he could find. He came to us after the fact and told us that he could have handled it for us. As you look at this contract, it says 10 to 12 minute firework display. I will tell you that that is the normal amount of time that we use. It doesn't sound like very long, but when you're sitting and staring up at fireworks, 10 to 12 minutes is quite a length of time to be doing that. We could move that to 15 if you thought that that was necessary. He'll do all the permitting. We've talked to him about the airport and the fact that we would need a NOTAM at the airport. It's insurance, it's cleanup. I will say cleanup is important because this past year we learned that. The little brief fireworks that we had, we shot them off inside the arena and it left quite a mess. We had to clean up after that and ended up, the Horseman's Park cleaned it up for us. So we didn't have to do it, but cleaning it up, the bulk mess, including all the trash cans and everything else, is just great. He has agreed to book the entertainment for us from 7 to 9, including the entire sound system and all the lighting. We told him we had a stage. We talked to him about the size of it. He may bring his own stage if his is better accommodating than ours. And he would market it across all of his social media platforms, just as you see here. I asked him if he had a proper pyrotechnician who could shoot the fireworks. He said yes. And did I mention that the date is wrong in here? As you know, we've moved it to July 2nd. We approved that already. He knew it wasn't on the 3rd in the past, so we'll have to correct that. This is essentially for you to look at. If you have comments, the price, let me just say that the price of $10,000. What we had in the budget last year was $8,500. We then paid $2,000 for a band and sound system and lights. So this $10,000 is less than we had booked originally in the budget last year. So it actually saves us money.
This year on the budget was 13.
This year on the budget is 13. Exactly.
So that would be a savings.
Yes.
Ms. Latricia Nice, she's the special event coordinator for the city. I don't know if you know that that's in her purview.
One of her side
It's
jobs.
one of her side jobs, is from city clerk. That's exactly right. We actually have something else we want to bring to you later, that will use some of that extra money. Another event, that is a long-standing event that we would like to contribute to, that we can tell you about later. We're not prepared tonight to show you all that.
What That's mean. How nice you wanna know? That's mean. I wanna ask if he can improve on the sound system. Where we are back there with the watermelons, you can't hear a thing.
I
You
had
don't
that
know what is
conversation,
going
Patricia and I
on.
both had that conversation with him. We've met with him on phone conference as well as he's come to meet with us in the office, I believe twice, that we've actually met with him. And this contract's actually been revised 2 or 3 times as well, to get what we thought would best fit us. And yes, we talked to him about the sound system and how it didn't carry properly, how it was muffled and garbled farther than you went. At Macon Bacon, I think the sound system was good. You had an excellent,
It
you had an
was very
excellent
good.
band as well.
Various other places have done fireworks.
The only one I'm aware of is Archer, but I can ask him that question if you'd like for me to. And we can call these people for references as well if you'd like for us to do that. Like I said, I'm just letting you look at this and see if there's anything you want to tweak.
I would suggest we err on the side of 12 minutes instead of 10 minutes.
Absolutely. So leave it.
I just don't want it to be where it's gonna be like they were last year, is what we got, just use it.
That's why he's trying to get it early, so that he can order them now. So that he has plenty of time. That's why we're bringing it to you so early.
Not trying to step on Latricia's toes or anything, but I think staff has talked about after we have an event, there's certain things that everybody gets together to try and make better for the next time. So
Sure, after action.
I asked Latricia to call our department group together early. Like for Christmas, we need to be planning now. You're doing a good job with fireworks doing early, but, you know, they've expressed an interest of, can we start talking Christmas now? Because there's a lot of things that we might want to do different and work it out. So just reach out, and I think Jonathan will just be.
I will say that the other event, with the money is the Christmas event. The chamber is asking us to partner with them at that Christmas event. And we just told them,
You're talking about improve on Light Up
yes,
Williston
improve
part?
on Light Up Williston and bring a little more activities to the event. And we're working again with Mr. Foster to do that. He has, really good connections. He has a lot of connections that we can't afford. I mean, I'm talking live reindeer and skating rinks, but we don't have the money to do those things. But he has a lot of other, I mean, seriously, wouldn't that be something? But the chamber's trying to make it bigger this year. We're trying, we've met with them about it to try to help them, even if we put a few dollars in there that's left. Not all of that remainder of that money, but part of it.
Christmas event is really keeps public works going.
Yes.
So the sooner they can be brought in to any of that, the better, because if there's any changes, what we've done in the past, they need to know early. So they can start scheduling. We're really busy, they're really busy right now.
Right.
So any little thing that comes along throws them. So they're really trying to be good at scheduling. And Jonathan, I didn't know if that's what you're trying to, wanted to put your hand up for, but I'll let you take your time.
I will, so one comment that I actually got during the Peanut Festival about Light Up Williston, that someone talked to me about the large Christmas tree that we put up, the tinsel tree, and the fact that it has so many guide wires. They would love to see that move to one end or the other, rather than where the festival is held, so people won't trip on it. So y'all might consider
I'll take that in consideration.
where you might put that other, even if it's all the way to the gazebo near the Welcome to Williston sign, you know, wherever you think a good place would be. It becomes a trip hazard near the gazebo, near the pavilion.
We got plans of trying to put a fence, small, pretty fence up around it anyways to block it off this year, which will be different from
good.
other years.
Perfect.
This is perfect, yeah.
But on this proposal, it says payment is due upon signing of this agreement. Since they're a new vendor, is there any way we can do 50/50?
Sure,
That way it keeps skin in the game for both of us.
we can actually
We
do
have to
that.
pay them off, but they have to show up to get the rest.
We could sure ask him. I'm sure he has to book acts but he probably doesn't have to pay them upfront all the way, 50%, I would think. So, has he joined us yet, Mr. Bill? No? Okay.
Negative.
So yes, we'll talk to him about moving it to 50/50. We'll talk about the fireworks staying 12 to 15 minutes instead of 10 and 12. We'll change the date to July 2nd. Anybody else got anything?
I would just think that, like we had talked about right after the 4th of July, you're already saying it's gonna be short.
Right,
So
Yep.
we need to nail this.
we do need to nail it down.
You know, if you wanna be able to have fireworks.
Right. We'll try to bring it back to you at the next meeting. We did talk about the rain policy, the rain date policy too, and the fact that, and he actually had it earlier than this. It says 11:30 on the day of the event. Sometimes you don't know whether it's gonna rain until an hour before the event. I told him, you know, how we're always watching radar to the last minute, whether to do it early or to postpone. So we can help tweak that a little bit too. Give us a longer time frame there.
The problem with that is that when you set up fireworks, they usually set up fireworks either the night before or the morning of.
Yes.
And then they, you know, if it rained or whatever, they would have to tear it down and whatnot. That's a big chore.
The group we had before, they would set it up usually around 6:30 or 7 o'clock after we got out there, so probably more like 7 or 8.
And cover it up.
And cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all are okay to continue discussions with this gentleman?
Do it, yeah.
Try to get them hammered out between now and next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll bring that back to you as well. Any other comments about that? Okay. What am I looking at? Changing the page. We are back to item number 6, which is public participation. Again, we'll ask our audience or anyone who is online if they have any segment that's not on the agenda they would like to bring up at this time. This is your 5-minute time. Okay, yes, sir.
I was wondering, did the problem of noise and blow continued, did that get resolved, or, no?
It has not. I haven't heard any more from them. They shouldn't have more than a week or 2 left in this season, but I haven't heard anything. Mr. Johnson?
Can you come to the mic?
Sure. We would love, please do. Please do, so we can all hear you.
Well, they'll have no problem hearing me.
Good afternoon. Marvin Johnson, owner of B&M Unique Style here in Wilson. And I just want to thank Laura Jones for working with me at Appling on getting things going through the Planning and Zoning Committee. And I know we're going back to the drawing board on a few things, but I just want to definitely thank our person, let this board know she is very instrumental. And thanking this board for actually recognizing Friends of Cornelius William Park as an entity and to continue to work with us as we move forward.
Thanks, sir. Any other public participation at this time?
Debbie?
You wanna bring that up, cause that's the next.
Yeah, Latricia, what's the deal on the ethics hearing? Did we not have one back in March?
Yes, sir. Your, certificate is good until March of 2022. So, it's.
And there were several more in there.
Yes, Attorney Walker's office is offering the ethics class. We'll talk about, I'll let the attorney tell you what they're doing.
So we'll be offering our ethics class at November 18th. You're required to do the ethics training, you're not required to do it with us. So if your certificate ends in March, I suppose that you could arrange to do ethics training in another manner. But it would be our suggestion, because if you take the class in November with us, then you're good until November 2022. And we normally do our trainings in November, And so then you'll be on track with our schedule for offering the ethics training, and your certificate or your training requirements will be fulfilled each year. It might just be easier.
But if we've already taken the one this year, we don't need to take another one for this year. Is that right?
No, but it's gonna run out
Yeah.
before the next one, before they teach their next one.
Well, we take another one next year.
Only if you do it for Florida League of Cities again.
Oh, we can do that.
That's through the Sewanee.
Yeah, Swanee League of Cities.
Sewanee League is the one that puts on the ethics.
Right.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Yep. Jenny Anderson, going through Jenny.
Yeah, and Jenny
Well, the
Anderson.
one we did here was it was the Florida League of Cities.
Well, we did, I did it online through, the Sewanee.
The one we had at here at City Hall was Florida League of Cities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we did it
And we
with
got,
Sewanee.
yeah. Okay, so did they do it at a different time period?
They usually do it in the spring.
Okay, so y'all are gonna wait till the spring, is that what you're saying? Or are you gonna do it in November?
No, maybe.
I'm gonna wait till you, yeah.
I'm going in November, 'cause I heard it's fun.
We
I've
try
heard
to
good
make it
things about your
interesting.
training.
We do try to make it interesting. I would just say that, please make sure that you, confirm, I know that a lot of, things have been moved around as far as, sometimes the trainings are being offered either electronically or in person, or, so just make sure before the November 18th training that you do have something lined up, so that you're on track for when it expires in March.
Okay,
Some employees need to do that too.
yeah. And I think Florida League's already done theirs this year.
Imagine that.
I saw it come through on our email, so I think Florida League of Cities has already done theirs.
So this year?
Because I saw it come through on email that I get from Orange. The registrations at least come through, put it that way.
I think I did mine in June.
Okay, all right, so, I know I've already RSVP'd for the training in November. I don't know about the rest of you. Mr. Bishop?
The supervisors under my control will be attending that class also.
Perfect.
Yay.
Mr. Fuller, do you know if any of your people are coming to that class?
They didn't say particularly, but I expect to be there.
Okay. And I guess, Latricia, if you'll just let our other boards know, reminder that when the deadline is for that class, that would be helpful.
When
I'm
is the
talking to you
deadline?
too, Laura, so, it's your groups. Sir?
When is the deadline?
Ours, is it March 22nd, is that what I just heard?
For, registration.
No, for their class.
You got it.
No, for their class.
The deadline is in November. I don't have the date with me right now. I can email that to Latricia, but I believe it's in November.
Okay, thank you so much. Great question, Mr. Ross. Anything else? Councilmember Hines, you got anything for us? Not tonight. Councilmember Robinson.
No, ma'am.
Councilmember Cox.
Looking through the deadline.
Anybody else in the audience on the staff? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I move that we adjourn.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
It doesn't have a deadline on it.
Thank you for joining us.